days after getting a trial dose of the Covaxin vaccine, the Haryana Health Minister Anil has tested positive for the coronavirus. He tweeted that he's tested positive, that he's in the civil hospital in Ambala. And remember, on the 20th, very publicly, Vij was given a shot of the Bharat Biotech vaccine, Covaxin, as a volunteer. And since then, he had recently even met with the yoga guru Ramdev and many leaders, including Digvijay Chautala. So the reactions, of course, are coming in. The Central Health Ministry has responded, saying that the antibodies against the infection build up in a human being only after a specific number of days after the second dose of vaccine is taken. And since this is a 2-dose vaccine, the minister in question has only taken 1 dose of the vaccine. We've also heard Bharat Biotech react, saying that both the health ministry and Bharat Biotech reacting similarly, saying that these are clinical trials. They're based on a 2-dose schedule given 28 days apart. The vaccine efficacy, says Bharat Biotech, can be determined only 14 days post the second dose. But are you confused by this? Because remember, it was very public that the health minister stepped forward to say that he would be among the first. All of it caught on camera where he took this vaccine dose, this trial vaccine. Yet we're reporting, he has reported that he is now coronavirus positive. This can be certainly very confusing. I'm certainly confused. So we try to answer some of your questions. We spoke with Dr. Sunila Garg. She is a member of the task force, DBT, and an advisor of the ICMR, and we asked her, what does this mean? Does this mean that what conclusions is one to make about the Bharat Biotech vaccine?
We have Dr. Sunila Garg, who's joining us. She is a director and professor at the Maulana Azad Medical College. She's also a member and advisor of the ICMR. Thank you so much, Dr. Garg, for being with us. This is a development that has many drawing conclusions on the efficacy of the vaccine. Would you like to clarify?
Yeah, actually, it is too premature to draw any conclusions because the vaccine has just been given approximately about, 2 weeks back. That is one thing. Number one, it is a inactivated vaccine which is there, and 2 doses of vaccine have got to be given. And then, and we are in the phase 3 trials, then only we will know the complete efficacy of the vaccine. And, once we know the complete efficacy of the vaccine, whether it is varying from 60 to 90%, so that means actually as compared to the control group, it is 60% of the individual or 90% of the individuals are protected. Rest of them are vulnerable to get the infection. So if, unless there is no vaccine which is 100% proof, foolproof. So that is where we need to remember that, first of all, it is only 1 dose. It has just been given 15 days back. We still have got 2 more weeks to go. And then, then only we can comment upon, because he has
questions, Dr. Garg. 2 questions, Dr. Garg. Will the minister now be eligible to continue his participation in the trial? Can he be given the second dose of Covaxin given the fact that he's contracted the infection, or can he no longer participate in the trial?
You see, once the person contracts the infection, that ideal situation will be not to continue with the trial, because he already would be developing antibodies as a result of infection. That is it. So that will not be, he should not be continuing the trial, and that,
Yes. Also, Dr. Garg, for the benefit of our viewers, could you explain what a 50-50 randomized, blinded, double-blinded clinical trial means? For the layperson, what we understand is 50% are given the vaccine, 50% are actually not given the vaccine, they're given a placebo. But could you simplify that for our viewers?
That looks something like vaccine, but it is not a vaccine. So we give some other substitute. Okay. So that could be in the form of distilled water, whatever, but then that is not the vaccine. Okay. So these are, basically, so one group is given the vaccine, and but no investigator will know. That investigator will not know. The person who is conducting the study does not know.
Yes.
It
and
is
why is this done, Dr. Garg? Why is this done?
Double blinding is done to avoid any kind of bias in the whole process, so that, basically, we don't come across that if I'm, giving this, I will definitely know, and maybe I'm biased towards that individual in terms of, providing more care or like that. Blinding is always done to avoid any kind of bias. So that will be that if one group is doing one group is given the placebo, another group is given the vaccine, and the third independent person is observing, right? So it is always better to avoid any kind of bias in the study. So that's why blinding is done.
Right. So there is essentially no way to know whether the Health Minister Anil Vij was actually given a placebo or whether he was actually administered the first dose of the Covaxin.
You see, in that case, definitely, ideally in that situation, we should not be knowing. That's the ideal situation. But you see, when the media is telling that he got the first dose of vaccine, that is where it puts us to this thing. But,
Okay.
All the individuals are followed as per the same protocol like we do for the vaccine, okay? So for the placebo also, we are following in the same way. So the individual also does not know that he has been given this vaccine or he has been given the placebo.
Okay.
So that will be important to know. But then let's presume that he has been given the vaccine also. It is too premature to, conclude that he will be developing the immunity, because he has to get 2 doses of vaccine and it's only 15 days. And again, after receiving 2 doses of vaccine, one should remember that efficacy of the vaccine is, it has to come only after this trial is going to be complete. Like that year we were talking about 60% and all that. Now we are talking in cases of Covishield and all to be around 68 to 90%.
Yes.
So that means still other persons are vulnerable to infection,
Okay.
and they may get infection to the lesser extent.